I probably don't have to convince you of how important memes are to the internet and really life in the 21st century, I would say. I would say it's the quickest way to communicate and to relate, to market, to do pretty much anything that involves digital communication. And what's fascinating is I found this thing that's going viral. I mean, it's everywhere. It's across Twitter. I found the original poster on Reddit. It's this thing called MemeCam, and I'll just let you watch because it's quite impressive. I think you get the gist of it. Basically, it's a camera that has GPT-4 integrated into it and dialed in to generate memes that have to do with, your culture and community and just funny jokes and humor in general. Basically, it's a camera that you can access on a website and pretty plugged into internet humor. I wouldn't say it's as good as great as our favorite shit posters, but it's pretty solid, and this is coming from experience. I had to test it out for myself. And so yeah, I was just kind of playing around. Don't ask me why I have a dinosaur still at home, but yeah, as you can see, took a picture of it on a scale, and the new way to weigh and measure pet lizards, because old school scales just don't cut it anymore. Not a bad pun. Wanted to go at it again, see what it could come up with. This time, when you want to know the weight, but also need a little Jurassic motivation, Roarbellion starts with progress. Oh, like rebellion? Okay. Not bad. Then I realized that there's this little context button where you can add, context and say, hey, this is specifically what I'm going for. And so, I put it dental in, and as you can see, I've got a drill that I put a toothbrush on the end of, so I was like, what's it going to come up with? And honestly, that's exactly what I was kind of expecting it to. So it understood what I was going for, right? Did it again. This one was a little bit stranger, but still a little bit funny, in essence. When you want to skip your next visit to the dentist but forgot your drill at home, it's kind of like I believe in comedy they call that a non sequitur, where you think joke's going one direction and then it just kind of veers a completely different way. So yeah, MemeCam. The creator was Frederic BL. You could probably find him elsewhere on the internet. But before I move on to the rest of this video, I just want to let you know that all the links that I'm going to be covering throughout this video will be here at my Everydays journal that I share with Q Harris and Terry, everydays.wtf, where every single day we ask ourselves, what's the future? And we take detailed notes and really go into new tech trends and what's happening, and ultimately to help guide our own exploration, but also to help you future-proof yourself and, just experiment with new ways to do things. We've got a lot of different categories we go into. If you're interested in generative AI and ChatGPT, we have literally over 100 notes just on ChatGPT and different ways to go about using it. So yeah, that's Everydays. It's going to be linked down below. And like I said, if you go to that link, it'll have all the rest of the links that I'm going to be covering here. So you can do your own exploration and yeah, just check out AI and humor, because it's a very fascinating place to go into. I think what this really reminds me of, there's a service that I used to always use when I worked in marketing called Image Flip, where you could create memes. It had meme templates, but they came out with this service called This Meme Does Not Exist, and it was basically AI memes. And this was many years ago they came out with it, and you could just pick a template and me waiting for the next person to stop talking. So yeah, it'll just generate things. I think that this is uncensored, so I'm just hoping that nothing bad comes out. I mean, overall, it's not. It never was that great of a tool. It definitely missed the mark. I never. I used it a couple times. I was like, this doesn't necessarily help me in comparison to the MemeCam, which literally I can stage a photo like I did with those two photos, and it'll help me come up with something funny or at least get me going in the right direction. And I think that that's really what the fascinating part here is. It's just going to speed up new meme formats and creating new little pieces of culture. And the broader discussion here is AI understanding humor, because really what happened with GPT-4 when it was released, it clearly got better at understanding humor. In particular, this tweet is great. It basically, I'm not going to go through reading the whole thing for you, but he has the joke, explain the phrase, you put the B in subtle. And when he used GPT 3.5, it kind of missed the mark. But when he did it again with GPT 4, it nailed it. The phrase, you put the B in subtle, is a humorous and ironic expression used to suggest that someone is being very obvious or not at all subtle in their actions. So it understood that, right? It got that that's what the joke is meant to convey. And there's an old saying, it's from EB, the guy's name is EB Way. It says, explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but the frog dies in the process. Basically, like you kill a joke when you try to explain it. Obviously, ChatGPT's role is to explain things, and if it kills a joke, that's not really its fault. But so speaking on GPT-4, like clearly starting to understand humor, this was what was included in the GPT-4 research paper, showcasing that it's starting to understand humor, right? So basically they were able to put this picture in, and it's an old VGA plug-in with an iPhone charger on it, and it's a joke charger, of course, and it nailed it. Panel by panel, it explains exactly what is humorous about this, right? The humor in this image comes from the absurdity of plugging a large, outdated VGA connector into a small, modern smartphone charging port. So it nailed it, right? And that is really fascinating. This was the other meme that was also included in their research paper for GPT-4. And it's like a bunch of chicken nuggets, and it does a great job. Like I said, I'll have these links in the link below so you can look at them more. But another fascinating one is, when you just go over to ChatGPT and you start going into having it help you write jokes, it comes up with really unique ways of telling old jokes. This is the famous "Why did the chicken cross the road" joke, and the last one it comes up with is because it saw a sign saying chicken strip and didn't want to miss the show. I mean, that's a new way of telling that joke. I've never heard it that way before. So I think that there's, AI is starting to understand humans' humor in a sense, and does it truly get what's going on? I don't know, but it's obviously making some compelling argument that, hey, this thing kind of gets us. And there's a guy who's been talking. I was doing some research. This guy, Thomas Winters, he's been talking about computational humor for a couple decades. Once again, this site will be linked down below. He's got a lot of really interesting projects here. He was featured in an MIT Press article where he just goes through like the methodologies and some of the challenges of actually bringing humor into a machine, and it is a pretty difficult process. This is a great read. Once again, will be linked down below. Totally worth it, because if AI or ChatGPT or these large language models can start to understand what makes us laugh, I think that it will bring a brighter side to this technology, right? If you make somebody laugh, you can completely change their day, right? You can turn that frown upside down, right? That's the old saying. If this thing could just spew out funny stuff for us all the time, it might make the world a better place, actually, you know? And that's my take on it. I'm totally kind of blown away by the meme cam. I had a lot of fun doing that. I've probably got about 20 or 30 other memes that I didn't put in this video that I just enjoyed creating. Like, after I'm done editing this video and putting it out here, I'm just gonna go run around the city and play around with MemeCam, because it's just, I feel like a kid again, like with a new little toy. And this is a very unique time in history that we're living. Once again, head over to the link down below, everydays.wtf. I know I'm saying it a lot, but this is the future, and using tools like this, being ahead of tools like this, is really what's going to make or break, you know, your adoption of them, and where you can take them, and where opportunities come in the next couple of years for you. So head over there. A lot of great information that you are going to be happy that you checked out. So that's all I got this time. If you want to check out another video from me tomorrow, hit that subscribe and notification bell below. Every day I'm coming out with another of these tech trends to just show you what's happening in this crazy, crazy world. So that's all I got. Thanks for checking in, and until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.